Hi friends, in this video we are going to see about super elevation. So before going into the topic, I like to give you some basics. So whenever an object or whenever a body takes a circular movement, there will be two forces acting on that body. One is the centripetal force, which is towards the center of the circle, and another one is the centrifugal force, which acts away from the body. Right? So whenever a body is taking a circular motion, so one force goes towards the center, that is known as the centripetal force, and one force goes away from the center, that is centrifugal force. Right? So whenever we might have experience in our daily life, when we are traveling by bus or by car or by any vehicle, whenever we negotiate a curve, we can feel that we will be turning towards the or leaning towards the outer side of the curve. Suppose if you are going at a speed say 60 or 70 kilometers, now if you are negotiating a curve which is turning towards the left, you will be having a push or a force outside the curve, that is towards the right hand side. If your bus is turning towards the left side, you will be falling on the right side. So that right side force is known as the centrifugal force, which is a very important parameter in designing of the curves or in the geometric design. So for example, if a vehicle takes a left turn, that is towards the inside of the curve. Inside of the curve, the centrifugal force will be acting outside the curve. This is the outer side, outside of the curve. So when the vehicle is turning towards the left, this centrifugal force will try to push the vehicle away from the circle movement. So here the stability becomes a question. Whenever it is traveling a high speed or very slow, very less radius in a higher speed, what will happen at that instant is the vehicle will try to tend to fall outside the curve. So in order to counteract this centrifugal force, what we will do is we will raise the outer side of the platform. We will raise the outer side of the platform so that this centrifugal force will get compensated. This raising of the outer side of the platform or raising of outer side of the pavement is known as the super elevation. So say B be the width of the pavement, that is width of the pavement be B, and let this height be capital E, height elevated, and then this angle can be determined by sin theta equal to E by B. So E by B is the sin theta. So in order to simplify or to make easy, so if you see this sin theta value, this will be approximately, the value of sin theta will be approximately 0.07, will not exceed 0.06, very much less. So the sin theta is approximately taken to be tan theta. The rate of super elevation is calculated by determining the tan of theta for simpler calculations. So tan theta is taken as E by B, right? So this E by B value is known as the rate of super elevation. This value will not exceed 0.07. The height of the pavement can be raised maximum up to a value of 0.07. More than if you raise, then there will be a lot of problems will be occurring, that we will see in later videos. So now this force, this centrifugal force, which tends to take the vehicle away from the radius of curve, away from the turning radius, this centrifugal force is given by W V square by GR, where W is the weight of the object, V is the speed of the object, G is the acceleration due to gravity, and R is the radius of the curve. So if the value of W is increased, then definitely this value of P also will increase. So in other words, this P by W is equal to V square by GR. This is known as the centrifugal ratio, or it's also known as the impact factor. So what is the speed and what is the R? With respect to that, this centrifugal ratio or speed will vary. So consider a vehicle. So this is the theta. So consider a vehicle taking, this is the inside of the curve and this is the outside of the curve. Inner side of the curve and this is the outer side of the curve. So the weight of the body will be acting exactly perpendicular, and then this will be the centrifugal force, right? Now whatever analysis we are doing, we have to change the forces parallel and perpendicular to the plane. This we have studied in the previous classes, that is engineering mechanics. So whenever the force is acting along a direction theta, this will have an equivalent to that of a force P cos theta in the horizontal axis and P sin theta in the vertical axis. So this is how the force will be resolved. If directly one force is acting at a horizontal axis, then this will produce the same effect in the horizontal axis only. There will be nothing in the vertical axis. But the inclined force is acting, then it will be the impact of this inclined force on the horizontal axis will be cos into the force, and then the impact of this inclined force on the vertical direction will be that force into sin theta. The value of sin theta into the force will be the horizontal axis. Similarly, for analyzing this one, we have to consider forces parallel and perpendicular to the plane. So if this is theta, then what will be this angle? This also will be theta, and this angle also will be theta. How? Say for example, so we know that this angle is theta, right? So in this triangle, this is theta and this is 90 degrees. This is also 90 degrees and this is also 90 degrees. So this triangle, say ABC. So in triangle ABC, angle A is 90 degrees. This is theta. So this angle will be 90 minus theta, right? 90 minus theta. So if you take this triangle, say ABC, we know that this angle is 90 degrees, right? And angle C is 90 minus theta. Therefore, this angle will be theta. This angle is equal. And if you consider in this triangle, so this is theta, and this and this are perpendicular. Okay? So here, this angle is 90 minus theta, and this angle is theta. Therefore, this also will be theta. So this entire angle is 90 degrees. So the remaining, this thing will be 90 minus theta. This angle will be 90 minus theta. The whole angle is theta. So therefore, this will be theta. So this is how the angle is resolved. Now we have to resolve the forces. So here this will be P cos theta, and this will be W cos theta, and this will be this will be P sin theta, and this will be W cos theta. This is sin theta. Right? So this is how we have resolved the forces. This is P cos theta, and this is P sin theta, W cos theta, and this one is W sin theta. In addition to this, in here, in the wheels, there will be a force which will be acting inwards. Since the P is trying to pull the vehicle outside, the frictional force or the force will be acting. So let this be A and B. So this will be FA and this be FB. And there will be the reactions. So let that be RA, and here the reaction will be RA, and this will be RB. Right? So total forces acting towards the left of the plane and right of the plane, that we have to see. So which are forces acting left and right side of the plane? So here P cos theta is acting towards the right side of the plane, and remaining forces FA and FB is acting towards the left, and W sin theta. These three forces are acting towards the left. And which are forces acting upwards, then that is perpendicular to the plane is RA and RB. In other terms, this F and FB can be rewritten as frictional coefficient of force into RA plus coefficient of force into RB plus W sin theta. This we have seen already. That is, if a force is acting along the direction, the frictional coefficient of frictional resistance F into the weight of the object or the reaction of the object will be equal. That is F equal to F into RA or F equal to F into W based on our calculation. So that's why we have written F into RA plus F into RB. So if you take this F outside, so it will be RA plus RB and this will be W sin theta. So RA plus RB equal to sum of the forces acting upwards. The opposite side forces are P sin theta and W cos theta. So if you substitute here, it will be P sin theta and W cos theta. Right? So this RA and RB will be equal to P cos theta and W sin theta. So if you simplify this, it will be Fp sin theta and Fw cos theta plus W sin theta. Outside will be P cos theta. Right? So in order to simplify this equation, you have to divide it by W cos theta. So it will be P by W. Sorry, before that, you have to bring all the terms of centrifugal force into one side. So that will be P cos theta plus Fp sin theta equal to Fw cos theta plus W sin theta. So now we have to simplify this equation. We have to multiply the whole equation by W cos theta. So we divide it by W cos theta throughout the equation. We will get P by W plus Fp by W sin theta. Right? Then here this Fp sin theta, when it comes to this side, it will be minus, right? So minus Fp sin theta to this side. So here it will be minus, and the right side will be F plus W cos W will cancel, plus W will cancel tan theta. F plus tan theta, W will get cancelled, sin by cos is tan. So F plus cos theta. So if you take P by W outside, it will be 1 minus F sin theta will be equal to, say, F theta sin theta plus F. So now we want the centrifugal force or impact. We want the centrifugal force or the impact ratio, that is P by W. So P by W is tan theta plus F divided by 1 minus F tan theta. I already told that the tan theta value will be always lesser than or equal to 0.07. So tan theta, if it is 0.07, and this frictional force, this will be also some maximum value will be 0.15. It will not exceed more than that. So this will be very much negligible. Say approximately equal to somewhere in 0.99 or so. Right? So this will be 1 minus 0.000, some value will be around some approximately 0.00000 values. So 1 minus point will be 0.999. So 0.999 approximately will be equal to 1. So we can neglect the bottommost value. 1 minus F tan theta we can neglect since the value is approximately equal to 1. So 0.999 somewhere it will come like that. So it will be approximately equal to 1. So therefore P by W will equal to tan theta plus F. So in other words, this tan theta can be, have found out that tan theta is nothing but the rate of centrifugal, rate of super elevation. So P by W will be equal to E plus F. So this is the main formula. So E plus F is nothing but the centrifugal ratio or the impact factor. But here we have found out that P by W equal to B square by GR. Since we have to equate it to terms of speed and radius, we have to bring this into picture here. So instead of P by W, I can write as V square by GR. So E plus F equal to V square by GR. So this is the formula for rate of super elevation. So where E is the rate of super elevation, F is the frictional coefficient, lateral coefficient of friction. Since it's making a skid here, Fi, Ri, B is there now. Because of this Fi and Fb, the coefficient of friction of the surface that will be coming into picture here. E plus F will be equal to the square root of the speed divided by G into R, where R is the radius of the curve. right? So when you want to calculate only the super elevation, you have to neglect this friction. So the F will be going to 0. So E will be equal to V square by GR. So in other words, if you want to find the value of E, if you know the speed and R and F, then we can find the E. And also if you want to find any other factor related to the E and F, you can find the design speed of the particular road. Also you can find the design radius of the particular road and so on. With this equation, we can analyze all the types of the parameters which is related to the super elevation, right? Thank you.